Okay, let's see what we can find in here. Lots and lots of tumbleweeds blew in here. Don't think this pipe has seen water in a long time. Notice the small holes to allow the water to seep into the ground. And by the looks of it, see how the marks on the walls? When it pours out, this thing fills about halfway, but on average, where there's a little bit of rust, it usually trickles. Lots of tumbleweeds, which are kind of annoying because I'm pushing them all along. I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm wondering what that is, because that junction I can't see from up above ground. Look at all these rocks that got pushed. These tumbleweeds are annoying. Oh, now I gotta get over all these rocks. Occasionally I'm gonna listen to make sure I don't hear anything scurrying. Getting over these rocks is annoying. This pipe is small. Okay, that's a junction. Let me kill the lights. Okay, there's no light down there. That's just a reflection from me. I thought that was a light. It's not. We are completely in the dark during this tunnel adventure. It's so quiet I can hear my heartbeat. These things always nerve me up. Oh, this is nasty. And this is when I turn around. There's no need for me to go further. If I shut my lights off, I cannot see a thing. I see another wall down there. I am not going any further because I'm going to tell you where this goes. It goes to a parking lot, which means when I get down to that next junction, now that second junction I could see above. This first one I couldn't see because it's only a manhole cover, and I think it's covered with dirt because there's a field above me. When I get to that second junction, it would have branched off into a bunch of tiny pipes. And the reason I'm not going down there is because I just noticed a ton of raccoon tracks down there. I couldn't see it here because the ground is dried up, but down there they're stepping in the water and they're making tracks. And this pipe is very small. I can't get out of there in a hurry if I get chased. That's the smallest one I've ever crawled through. I would never do that in the summertime because you're brushing up against the walls But now that it's winter, there's no spiders. I'm all dusty from that. So, let's show you what's above. I'm gonna walk here in a straight line, see if I can find that manhole cover. Shouldn't take long for me to find it, unless, like I said, it's covered with a bunch of stuff. No, it's right there. This is where I just was, right here. And this went around a 45 degree this way. So let's see where that next pipe would have brought me. Right on top of the pipe. And I think I see it. No, I don't see it. Here it is. This is the second junction. And from here, it would branch off this way and this way to two separate parking lots. And the thing that makes me nervous is this system doesn't go anywhere. It goes to parking lots with closed storm drains. And if the storm drains are closed, why else would the raccoons be going in there unless they're living in there? Because I don't think there's any kind of food in there. It's about one day later, I had to come back to this culvert because here in New Hampshire it's very cold, and past few nights it's been in the single digits. That frog I saw in there, I'm gonna rescue it and bring it home, because if I don't, it's going to die. So I'm going to get that frog. It should still be in there, because yesterday it was moving really slowly, because that's what reptiles and amphibians do when they get cold. I'm going to get it today. Hopefully I can get in and out like yesterday without seeing a raccoon, because I know they're in here, because I can see their tracks. I have a aquarium net with me, and I have a small mason jar that I'm going to put it in. I'll be back home within 20 minutes. I'm going to quarantine it for a day or so. Look at this, there's ice here in the pipe. So it's freezing in here. Frogs are supposed to hibernate in this area like in September. This pipe is warm, so it tricked it into not hibernating. And I think there's gravel in the bottom of this pit, so it can't dig into the mud. It can't hibernate. So bring it home. Keep it as a pet so it doesn't die. My terrarium at home, I built and designed for a frog, and now I'll have one again. Where is it? There it is. Okay. My mason jar out. I hope it didn't die. Doesn't look too good. This water's nasty. I'm hoping it's alive. Oh, it is, look. Come on. There it is. It's moving really slowly. It's not doing too good. Look at it. It's so skinny. Doesn't look like it's ate in a long time. You see how slow it is? The frog is so slow because it's freezing. Look how sickly it looks. Give it a little bit of water. Look at that, it can barely turn over. Okay, so in the next few days, I'm gonna go to the pet store, get it some crickets. Or maybe I can do some digging in the compost pile, get it some worms, so that it can get eating. So I'm caught the frog, bring it home now. Sometimes frogs in the wild do really well, and they'll actually hand feed a piece of chicken or something. I'm gonna try to do that. But other times, frogs from the wild, they don't do so well unless they come from tadpoles, but I've never really had that problem. Every wild frog I've kept has always lived for me. My last bullfrog, in some of my older videos, it lasted me 8 years before it died. Okay, I'm back to that icy spot. This really hurts, walking through a pipe like this, because usually I'd crawl. I do not like being in here, because there's fresh raccoon tracks in the mud. It's actually gonna snow pretty soon. Oh. Out. And damn it, I gotta go back in. I left one of my gloves in there. Damn it. Oh, I gotta crawl back all the way. Barely walk now. The frog is now in some warm water, and this is good signs. The frog is very active now that the frog is heated up, but you can see on the frog's skin is all peeling off now. That might be a combination of just normal shedding, but it also might be the cold, because you see it looks like its nose was frozen. And this is a female frog. I think it's a green frog. It might be a bullfrog, but just small. Everything floating around in here is the frog's skin. I think being in that pipe, the frog was so inactive that its molting habits, like, it hasn't been moving, so the molt just stayed on the frog. Trying to get all that molt off. Frog is now warm. Really, really skinny. Gonna have to get something for that frog to eat. Put the frog into the nice aquarium now. And the water in here is nice and warm, nice 85 degrees. Got the nice waterfall, a lot of plants to hide in. Frog can get down into the water. I haven't had a frog in here in a very long time, so yeah, I think I'm going to put an extra flotation device because I don't think the frog will be able to get onto that platform if it jumps in. It should be able to climb up through the plants. It's a fairly small frog, and the only thing living in here now is the pleco, and the pleco is not going to mess around with the frog. I just turned on the ultrasonic fogger, so get some nice warm fog in here for the frog. Puts really high humidity into the aquarium. The frog has now been in the aquarium for about 5 hours, and the frog is starting to brighten up in color a little. Now I can actually see a little bit of green, and the frog doesn't look as skinny anymore. Hey, take a look at that. There's a whirlpool in the frog's leg. I just dumped some fish flakes in there. I throw them into the waterfall so that they sink and the Pleco can eat it. And some got on the frog and it's showing me a whirlpool.